Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome. Yes, we can all do, those of you who are on gallery, just say hello to others and say hello to you. This feels like a very important week for us to be doing love scoops and moving from fear to presence. I've been using the tagline recently of what we're up to every day is expanding our capacity to give and receive more love. And what gets in the way of that is fear. So we're moving from fear to love through presence. And one of the best ways to create more presence is by shifting your biggest gift, which is where you're putting your attention. And so just do a little review for a moment of where you've been putting your attention over the last day or two. Just do a little review in your mind of where you've been putting your attention and how that's been creating aliveness or stuckness for you. So just do a little review of that. And notice any place in you, just to kind of do a little body scan and notice any place in you where it's been feeling a little denser or more compressed or contracted. And just give note to that because we're going to be giving attention to that in just a moment. What I'd like you to continue with today is to think of someone or a place that you know you love, and think of that person or place until you're having the experience of loving. You can actually feel loving being within yourself. So just go ahead and do that for a moment, thinking of a person or a place that you just love without any question. And be thinking of that and letting yourself receive that until you're having the feeling of loving. And then what I'd like you to do is go ahead and scoop that up. I'd like you to use that as your reservoir for love scoops today. I'd like you to scoop up that love and I'd like you to give it to that place that's feeling a little bit more contracted or flat or just overwhelmed. And let yourself receive that. So letting your attention from the inside come to meet your hands. And take a couple of breaths there. So you're meeting yourself with your touch, with your attention, and with your breath. Very powerful. And notice if your breath moves all the way into that place, even though it may not be a place that your breath actually reaches. So it could be your toes or your thighs. And then go ahead and just wiggle, kind of let that wiggle all the way through you. Let it percolate. And I'm feeling the urge to stand. So, any of you who want to be standing and wiggling and allowing all of that love to percolate down through you. And then go ahead and get another love scoop, thinking of that person or that place that you love. Scoop up some love and give it to another place in you. We're going to favor you today before we move to others. And letting your attention meet your touch, letting your breath meet your touch, and letting your body respond. Like I can feel I'm wanting to do like shrugging off. Letting your body do whatever you're most inclined to do when you receive that love scoop. Including sound. There may be a or a blah, and just go ahead and let the sound come. So you're scooping and landing and loving, and scooping and landing. I've been feeling things in my back a lot over the last few days, and what I'm getting is that the back is often where we store anger, but it's also where we carry things. So if any of you have been feeling burdened, in the last period of time, let those love scoops really come to meet those areas. If you've been repressing yelling at your television, you can use the love scoops to just touch your jaws, wiggle your jaws. And then only when you feel like filled up yourself, do your next love scoop, gather in that feeling of love, and then let that go out just to the space around you. So you're filling up the space right around you in what we call your kinesphere, your reach space. Let yourself fill that up with love. So love scooping and then letting that circulate around you so that you've got like an aura, a cloud, a ripple of love that you can then carry with you as you move around the world. Ah, and let's let that love kind of circulate and pool while we add attention to it. So let your body keep doing whatever you want to do and adding in sound. And with our attention today, I want to add intention with attention. So I'd like you to try on a few intentions that you spritz or infuse with your attention. So just imagine spritzing yourself with love and let that spritzing go with your attention as you give your attention out somewhere that you feel it called. It could be to friends, it could be to communities, it could be just to the whole gestalt of what's going on right now. And let that land, letting your attention and intention flow together. And then let that attention and intention flow back to you. And I'd like you to play with the intention of appreciation. And the definition of appreciation that I want you to try on is of being sensitively aware of. So, just as you would look at a work of art and you could see different aspects of it, even if you've looked at it 100 times, you can look, when you look with appreciation, you can notice new facets. And I'm noticing my body kind of turning as well, because we think of attention as being sort of linear. But imagine if your attention with all of that appreciation could swirl, it could swirl out, and it could swirl back. It could be like a big fluff ball that you toss and it lands and creates some fun. You could use it as like a scarf that you toss over and letting that land. And as you bring back to you. So I'd like you to let yourself play with. You could, of course, send love, but the components of love, you can break those down into appreciation, being willing to be with. So let your attention land on something in you that you're just now getting willing to be with. So it could be a feeling, it could be a series of thoughts, but go ahead and let your attention and your appreciation land on that. And then notice what's wanting to happen as you meet that from the inside. So I'm meeting the area between my shoulder blades because I've had many moments of outrage, and I can feel that my shoulder blades are kind of and wanting to kind of unthwack from each other. So I'm going to give my attention to that, letting myself scoop up some love and add that too. And I'm also noticing a tendency in me, so I'm guessing you might be experiencing this also, of a little hurry up, because I basically want us to hurry up and get this all over with. So the hurry up, I like you to feel how you're in that. It takes me a little bit ahead of myself. So just go ahead and do that for a moment, your own personal hurry up. I can feel my breath is higher than it is lower. So just appreciating that is giving my sensitive awareness to the tendency to hurry up. And the hurry up is probably, along with our breathing, the thing that is going to have the most impact on presence right now. So as you open your breathing and you play with, breathing in that love, letting that permeate all of you, and then leisurely, finding the leisurely. And I can feel myself settling as I'm doing that. And you can add in, what out here can I give my easy breath, essence pace, being appreciative, and in between, add a little wiggle. So if you're inclined to hurry up, I invite you to take that into wiggling, because the wiggling will allow you to take all of that attention all the way through you and feel any place in you that's really wanting wiggling that you might not even guess. Like my calves are really wanting to wiggle today. And so I'm doing a lot of bouncing on my heels, and it's getting my calves to wiggle. And then I'm taking that wiggle up my body. And then you can send that wiggle out into the world and let that reverberate. And then the wiggle back into you. So the main thing that is going to make a difference for all of us, I think, is if we occupy ourselves fully. So there's a tendency to want to just go hide in a cave. Go ahead and give attention to that. Love scoops. And whenever you need to now or during the week, letting yourself think of someone or a place that you love, and fill up your reservoir with the feeling, the experience of loving. And then just alternate giving that to you, giving it to others. I like to do this as I'm moving about in the world. So as I'm going to the grocery store, I'm doing love scoops and I'm doing loop of awareness, so that I'm including everybody that I come in contact with and letting them be part of presencing and loving and being together. Because that's the new structure that I'm wanting to create in the world, is us all being able to be together and to contribute to each other with our genius, what we most love to do. So let's go ahead and unmute, and everybody can make love sounds and love scoops to each other before I leave, and then you can all stay on to, yeah. So great to see you all.
Have a great week, everyone.
Faces, different people's ways of wiggling.
Sunday.
Yay. All right. Mwah. Until next time.